These masks come in various shapes, colors, and forms, each with a distinct feature, but all with the same purpose: to protect. As a result of the COVID-19 outbreak, all persons in public spaces are now required to wear masks. These include our restaurants, churches, supermarkets, and schools. All students returning to the classroom in the new academic year are expected to wear masks. But how prepared are they? Are they aware of the proper protocols for wearing masks and how important it is for them to wear masks correctly? Joining me to answer these questions and more is Mr. Keith Foga from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Thanks for coming, Ms. Foga.
Thank you for having me.
Ms. Foga, before we get into the protocols of wearing masks, let's establish the importance of mask wearing. Why is it so important?
So masks are important in the whole prevention of coronavirus, or COVID-19 as we call it. And this is because COVID-19 is spread through droplets that come from an infected person if they cough, if they sneeze, even if they talk or laugh sometimes. The droplets that can come from it is how it spreads. So if it passes on to someone, touches you, or you touch a surface and it goes into your eyes, your nose, your mouth. So the aim is that the mask is a protective barrier. So if I have it on and I cough, I sneeze, then the droplets are limited from going anywhere. It's kept inside. And the same if the other person is wearing the mask, so there's double protection on either side.
Thanks, Ms. Foga, for establishing the importance. But as we all know, there are different types of masks. Are all of them effective?
All right, so we have medical masks, and those have been tested and tried and proven. However, medical masks, we usually ask at Ministry of Health to allow the healthcare workers to wear those, because as you would imagine, their exposure is far greater than the average person. What we have found is the fabric mask also forms a protective barrier. Might not have gone through as much testing as the others, but it does form a protective barrier as long as you are using at least 2 to 3 layers of cloth. You want it to be washable, of course, so you can reuse them. You want it to be breathable, so material like cotton that is used for that is quite important in it. One of the things I want to mention as you ask about, the safety with the mask is the fact that there are some stylish masks that have valves on it, and we have to be careful with that. Those valves can protect the wearer because as you breathe in, it closes. However, when you breathe out, it's unfiltered air that is going out. And so it protects the wearer, but it does not protect others around. So it's not a recommended mask to be used.
Thanks, Ms. Foga. So let's get into the protocols now. How is it that persons are supposed to wear masks?
Okay. So the first thing is that the mask should be clean. So we want to ensure that we're using a clean mask. We want to ensure that persons wash their hands where they're at somewhere accessible to soap and water. If not, use a hand sanitizer before putting on the mask. So I'm putting a little sanitizer in my hand, and I think it's important to show because persons think that you just rub and that's it, but you're actually doing it even as you would do your hands, washing your hands, because you want to ensure that the entire surface of the hands have been cleaned. The next thing we do is go to the loops, and then you're putting it on your face. So you want to ensure that every area is filled. So you put it over the nose and the mouth, and you put it around the loops of your ears. Now sometimes the top may feel like it needs to be up a little bit, or the thing, you can tighten that, and that's how you would do it. In taking it off, you again do your wiping with your hand sanitizer or washing. Again, go from the loops, not from the middle. Go from the loops, take it off, and usually when you take it off now, if it's just for a temporary moment, you can put it on a paper towel. We encourage persons to also, they can use a little bag as like a sandwich bag and have it in there, and then take it out when necessary. Of course, at the end of the day, you're going to be putting it in some soapy water to wash it, because you want to wash your mask every day.
So, Ms. Folger, even though most students are required to wear masks, we know there are a handful of students who are exempted. Can you tell us why?
So in terms of wearing masks, children who are 2 years old and under are not required to wear masks. And this is because their lungs are not fully developed. And, we say you don't need to have the mask on them. Of course, you're going to ensure that they're not around a lot of persons and keep that distance, but we don't put mask on them.
Okay, Ms. Folger, so some of the students who are required to wear masks may find it uncomfortable to do for prolonged periods. What do you have to say about this?
Masks are some things that you have to practice wearing, for periods of time, even as students are at home. They should be, just practicing wearing it for different periods of time. Now, we have worked with the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, and it is understood that if they're in a classroom where the distance is 6 feet between, the desks, that they are allowed to take off their masks. If it is a shorter distance, they have to wear it. Now, there will come a time, as you're saying, that, you want to take it off. What I would suggest is that they be at a distance, because usually in the school after a certain time you go outside, whether it's a change of class or a break time. At that time, you just distance yourself a little bit, take it off for a few seconds, a minute or two, and then put it on back, and they're good to go again until another break is taken.
With that said, do you have any advice for parents and guardians who are sending their children back to school in this new normal?
You would be already recognizing what they are comfortable with that protects them, and so you start that practice, and then it's just encouraging them, give them an extra mask when they go, because as mentioned, when it gets wet, when it gets dirty, which will happen at school from time to time, you want them to have something else that they can put on, so they're constantly protected. And just the change also is something that can affect you mentally and emotionally, so you really just want to explain and understand the change. I think when the children understand why it is they're doing it, that is protecting themselves, it's protecting their friends, it's protecting their family when they come home. As they understand that and as they get used to it, I believe it is something that we will see them wearing it and having less complaints about it.
Thank you so much, Ms. Folger, for sharing all of that useful information with us today. I'm sure our parents and guardians are now more equipped and informed to send their children safely to school this academic year. With that said, I hope you think about what you've learned today and you do what you can to master the art of mask wearing. All the best.